Hey everyone, Savannah here, and welcome to another Patreon exclusive video where we're drawing Firecracker Popsicles. Everything you need is linked in the description down below. It is also listed on Patreon, so let's begin. As always, we're going to change the background first, so click into your layers, select that background layer, and find the Firecracker Popsicle color palette. We're going to use this light grayish blue color. Then you're going to create a new layer, drag that below your outline layer, and let's go ahead and start filling in the first shape here of the firecracker. We'll use white, and we're going to use that circle brush that I have in my brush set just to start outlining the shape of this, and then we'll add the other colors in a second. Now that we have this filled in, we are going to alpha lock this layer, and then we're going to create a new layer. This is going to be a clipping mask, and we're going to add the red and blue colors here. And now we will go ahead and alpha lock this layer so that we can add more details. You'll see in the sketch that I provided, I have some light shading marks. That's where we're going to add the shadow. So grab that circle blend brush, we're going to do the white first. So grab one of the gray colors, the darker gray colors, and just start adding lines here. We'll blend it out with the white to make it look a little bit more curved. And then we'll do the same thing with the red and the blue as well. Now I am going to add a little bit more detail to the bottom here of the blue, just add some more shading for the popsicle so it's not just a perfectly rounded bottom. You can do this if you want. You can stick to the template if you want to as well. This is just something I wanted to add to give it a little bit more definition here, and then I'll blend it out with that lighter blue color. And now we want to add some highlights because this is popsicle is going to be shiny and glossy. So grab that lighter red color, grab that circle blend brush, and we're going to add some detail here. I'm going to have the light kind of coming from the left side, so I'm putting the highlights on the left side of the popsicle here. And then we'll do the same for the blue section and the white section. The white, we can just pick pure white for it so that it pops against. It's not a true white color here for the popsicle, so you can just go right on up to pure white, add that highlight, and that's gonna make it really pop against it. And I am going to add a little bit more light red and light blue. So this is not part of the color palette. You can grab this from the color selection, but I'm just adding a little bit more highlight to make it show a little bit more shine. And now that the popsicle part is done, let's work on these sticks. So we're going to add a new layer, make sure it's at the bottom of all of these other layers that we just worked on. And we're going to grab this lighter orangish color. We'll work on outlining it and then adding detail. So use that circle brush, and then we will switch over to the circle blend brush, add in some of those darker tones and those mid tones to just give it a little bit more definition. And with that circle blend brush, it is pressure sensitive, so I'm just kind of trying to do some lighter touches here so that it blends a little bit more seamlessly. And then we'll go ahead and do the shadow behind this popsicle. So add a new layer, bring it all the way at the bottom, and we're gonna do that dark greenish color. Go ahead and with that circle brush, trace the outline that I have here in the template. We will do a Gaussian blur on it in a little bit, but for now, just fill it in with the solid color and then we'll move on to the next popsicle. And now we're going to work on the other popsicle layer. You can duplicate what we just created and rotate it, and then you'd be done. I like to do them separate, make it its own unique. If I had a lot of popsicles, I'd probably duplicate just to make it a little bit faster, but since there's only two, I'm just going to create a new one. So add a new layer, bring it down below that shadow layer, and grab the brown color. The reason we're putting it below that shadow layer is because that popsicle is behind this other one. I'll show you what I do here in this case for the shadow, so it doesn't look like it's just a color stacked on top of the popsicle. We want it to actually look like a shadow, but we'll do that towards the end. Now create that new layer, grab that light gray color, and then trace similar to how we did the first popsicle, just trace the popsicle. We'll alpha lock this layer, add a new layer on top of it, use clipping mask, and add the red and blue to that as well. Now that we have that red and blue layer, we're going to alpha lock it and add the shadows. Again, we're going to do the same technique that we did for that first popsicle. So grab that darker color, the circle blend brush, and just start adding in the shadows where I have the markings. Now that we have added all the details, let's go ahead and add the shadow below this popsicle as well. Again, grabbing that dark greenish blue color, that circle brush, and we're just going to fill it in. Then we'll do a Gaussian blur on both of these shadows, and I'll show you how we'll blend in the shadows so that it looks a little more realistic. So what we're going to do is change the mode for this layer. So you just click N, scroll up to the multiply mode, and bring opacity down. This is what's going to help with that shadow still showing what's underneath. And then we're going to do a Gaussian blur just to soften up even more. Do the same thing with the other one. We want them to match, so bring that opacity down, change it to multiply, and do a Gaussian blur on it as well. And then we're going to do one more layer. This is going to just add a little bit of definition to the background. Grab that square blend brush, that mid-tone grayish green color, and just go over the background a couple passes. We'll grab that lighter color again, go over it one more time, and then we will be finished. And there are our Firecracker Popsicles. Thank you so much for joining me on this sketch today. I hope you had a lot of fun like I did. And thank you for being members of my Patreon channel. It is very much appreciated. And I will see everybody in the next video.